All right, welcome back to another edition of Wasted Pitch. I am Nick, joined here by Eric.
Howdy,
Paul,
y'all.
say hello. It is official, the second half of the baseball season.
Yes.
We are past the All-Star break.
Isn't the second half of the season technically like 10, 20 games shorter than the first half, too?
It is this season, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like less than 20, but yeah.
Okay.
They went over a few games.
Okay.
Side note, we are officially 20 episodes in to Wasted Pitch.
Yes.
We had our 20th episode last week.
Congratulations, boys.
Yeah. Way to go. We did it.
We did it.
Listeners, we mentioned this last week, but we are now on Instagram. We're on Threads.
Yeah.
Check us out. Give us a follow wherever you're at. If you're listening in your car, just go ahead and pull over. Pull up Instagram. Give us a follow.
Because never text and drive. Don't do that.
Never text and drive.
See, we care.
We do. But make sure you follow us so you can catch up on all things Wasted Pitch. We're going to post little clips of upcoming episodes, keep you updated on all things going on over here. So let's get into the All-Star game. Or let's talk about the Home Run Derby, actually. You guys watched, I assume?
Somewhat.
Most of
Somewhat.
it. What I could catch. I listened to the radio. The first round on the radio. That was kind of exciting, but not,
Interesting. I don't think I would have thought that it would be on the radio.
I thought for some reason, I was like, it's on at 7 o'clock. I got plenty of time. Oh, that's 7 Eastern or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, yeah, fuck that one up.
Who was calling the radio broadcast?
Who was it? I don't even remember who the dude's name was. It was a dude you've heard of before, but it was
Kevin
like
Harlan.
The pace of this year's Home Run Derby was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like the Home Run Derby, like the first round is great. That was the best part of the Home Run Derby, the first round. Because that's when everybody kind of hits all of their home runs. I mean,
Like
obviously Julio hit his 41 or whatever it was.
Right.
And then they get into those second and third rounds, and then they're just kind of fucking gassed. Like you could tell. Mookie didn't do well. Mookie hit like 10 or 13 home runs.
Never took a timeout either. He just he said like, yeah, I know what's going to happen here.
You know, it's funny. They interviewed his wife while he was up to bat, and she said that he wanted to do it just so he could kind of say that he did the Home Run Derby because he's had all of these other achievements in his career, and like that was something that he just wanted to get out of the way. Not get out of the way, but to experience. So
check that box off.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really thought he had a real chance of winning, especially going up against the field that he was going up against.
For sure.
That being said, I think it was enjoyable, like the first round, part of the second round, but it kind of just seems to fizzle out as you get to the end.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Home Run Derby. They use all their energy in the beginning.
They almost need to kind of like make each round shorter and shorter. Use less time and quit giving them all this extra time to where they do just get so freaking winded. Like,
yeah,
because it just kind of like even the pitchers were getting exhausted pitching as fast as they were, I think. And your boy Pete, like, pitching awful. His pitching was awful.
Apparently, they had never practiced together. So he was supposed to have a different pitcher, but like 2 days before something happened, and so he had to go with this guy who they'd never really had practiced with before. So yeah, you could tell. I mean, he was not good, and that's why he got his ass whooped by Julio.
Yeah, Julio.
Vladdy Guerrero Jr. ended up winning against Randy Arozarena. Is that right?
No, the other dude. He had the cowboy boots. What was his name?
Yeah,
Arozarena. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Good showing overall. it just wasn't that exciting. What was the old format? It seems like the older format that was 5-6 years ago was a little bit more exciting, where they didn't have the time. It was more they had a certain number of outs.
Yeah, it was 10 outs or something, wasn't it?
10 outs, yeah. And that seemed to have things flow a little bit better. I don't know why they changed it. Maybe it's to extend the time so these guys can have like little breaks in between so they don't die while they're playing
but now they got like all these bonus times, and that just makes them even more tired. I like the outs personally. I think
I do too.
Yeah,
when Julio was done hitting his 42nd home run or whatever it was, like he looked like he just got done running a marathon. Like he was pumped up because everybody was like, he's in Seattle, he's in his hometown, but everybody like he was done.
But you could see that second round, he was done. His pitcher was done as well. It was just like, oh my God, what's the point?
Exactly.
They tried.
Way to go. Gave it the old try.
At least he crushed Pete once again. That's fun.
By the way, Paul, you did say in the podcast that it was going to be Julio.
Hey, man, listen.
So listen, we don't know each other or anything. It's okay. The score is settled. Just wanted to point that out.
Heard that. Go M's.
And then the All-Star game. I actually didn't watch the All-Star game. Paul, you watched it?
I did.
Apparently?
And the one thing that I noticed that was really annoying was they used like 3 different, like American League, I think, used like 3 different challenges. And it was like, why are you challenging? Yes. And so that just took all this time doing the review, going up to the booth or whatever. And that was really annoying. Other than that, it's kind of like, just any other All-Star game, like with football or whatever. It's like, it's lackluster.
Yeah.
It was cool. I think the Seattle fans were actually the most entertaining part, like chanting for Shohei, come to Seattle, and booing all the Houston Astro players, even during introductions. It's like,
nice.
They were the most entertaining part of the whole thing. The other time, like, Luis Castillo of the Mariners didn't even get to pitch. Apparently he pitched Friday, just the other day, at the first game back of the second half. And so they didn't even pitch him. And I don't know.
Really?
Garrett Cole only pitched like 1 inning in the beginning.
Who was the coach for the American League? Was it
Dusty? Yeah. Scott Service was also on his staff, but yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Dusty probably said, fuck you, Seattle. I'm not
probably, because I'm sure he got booed just as much as anybody other on the Houston Astros.
Probably.
So,
yeah, the All-Star game is pretty much the lowest point of All-Star week, which is sad. I mean, it's more of a ceremony than anything else. The game itself is
the futures game, the softball game, celebrity softball game, all of those were huge hits here in Seattle. Like the stadium was packed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The that interactive area that could go on, or whatever they could do, like during the day, that seemed pretty cool. Like what footage I saw of that was pretty crushing. Orbit got booed like crazy.
I was about to say, I think Mariners fans even fucking booed the Astros mascot.
Yeah, it was great. But Orbit came back and burned them, and he's like handing out tissues with the tissue box to like everybody. And of course, some child Mariners fan like got all mad and started stomping on the tissue box. It was pretty fucking funny.
Oh, that's pretty good
stuff.
See, that's why Orbit is top tier.
Yeah.
He's one of those top tier mascots.
Yeah. Well played, Orbit. Well played.
Yeah. Way to go. National League won. So are they still doing the thing where whichever team?
Oh my God, no.
Okay.
No. Home field advantage or some shit?
Yeah.
No.
When did they stop that? I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was only 3 or 4 years that they did that.
Yeah, if that, because that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
This time it means something.
Right.
Yeah, All-Star Week, it's fun. It's a good break for most people. All-Star Game is boring. They probably still do those interviews with the players while they're on the field.
That was pretty fun. I mean,
those are that might be one of the better parts of the game itself.
Yep.
And then seeing your players play, your team's players play is fun while it lasts. But they rotate those guys in and out so quickly.
Oh man, like Julio was up in the fucking bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, like down by 2 runs, a runner on. It was like he had the chance to win it with a walk-off kind of thing, and he ended up getting a walk out of the deal off of Kimbrel. So it was a good at-bat. It was certainly exciting at the end there, but at the same time, it was just sort of like the interviews with the pitchers that were actually pitching. That was pretty interesting, too.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Oh, man, it was just like ask them a couple questions while they're like in their wind-up a little bit. But that was, again, talking to those people was pretty interesting. Talking to Mookie early on, they were asking him about what he was doing, and he was kind of said what his wife was saying there, like, kind of a bucket list item. He's been a batting champ numerous times, like, awesome player. Good to hear his side of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Those parts were pretty fun, but yeah, the game itself was pretty boring.
Yeah.
But the first time the National League won in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
crazy.
haven't won since 2012, which is kind of crazy.
Almost 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 11. That's pretty crazy.
But it means nothing. So
nothing.
Way to go, National League.
Yeah, good job.
You guys did it.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And good on the Rangers having 6 players start at one time or play at one time. That's pretty nuts.
There was, I saw that thing where it was like a record for number of players starting on one All-Star team. And it's a little ironic that they set that record up in Seattle. Just a big fuck you to Seattle.
When we had the All-Star game last time was in 2001, 116 win season. We had like 8 All-Stars in the game. They didn't all play at one time. There was nothing like the 6 players, but pretty cool. But division rival. They're just crushing this year, man. I don't want to admit it, but I will. Fucking Bochy.
I'm not going to say I told you so, Paul.
You better fucking not. I swear to God.
I told you so. Yep. Good to be on the back half of the season. Now things can really start to heat up.
Oh, man. Trade
Let's
deadline.
get to the playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah, it's exciting right now.
With only 2 games since the playoffs, the All-Star break, there's already been a couple interesting things that have happened.
Let's hear it.
Vlad has become the first home run derby winner to hit a home run at his first at-bat after the All-Star break.
That's crazy.
And last night, Bo and Josh Naylor are the first brothers to hit multi-run home runs in the same inning for the same team.
What team do they play for?
Cleveland.
The Guardians.
The Guardians. And they become the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th brother pairing to hit just home runs in the same inning for the same team.
Wow.
Following BJ and Justin Upton.
Yep.
Billy and Cal Ripken.
Yep.
Both those pairs did it twice. Hank and Tommy Aaron.
Oh, wow.
Lloyd and Paul Wiener. Rick and Wes Farrell, although they were on different teams. Lloyd and Paul Wiener.
Again.
Wiener. Yeah. So
interesting.
That's it. All from since 1900. Those are the only brother pairings to hit home runs in the same inning.
That's pretty cool.
I'm actually surprised more at the home run after the home run derby thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That hasn't happened before. I mean, there's been a home run derby winner since when? What? How long has that been going on? 40 years, maybe?
Probably a little bit longer.
Looking it up. First home run derby was 1985.
Oh, wow. I guess you're right. I thought it would have been like the 70s.
So almost 40 years.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
1985 was, getting old.
It's a good year. It's a good year for Royals fans. Nobody else gives a shit, but hey.
Why was it good for the Royals fans?
Because we won the World Series in 1985.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. George Brett, baby.
Loving it. So this week, we're going to do a little exercise, gentlemen. And I don't mean running laps or anything like that. We're not going to actually exercise on the podcast.
Good.
We got this idea from Reddit, of all places. I believe it was on the R Red Sox. Is that correct, Eric?
Yep.
Does that make us like BuzzFeed News now? Like we're just
Pretty much,
recycling content from Reddit. Sweet. So the idea is, well, throughout the course of baseball history, there have been a number of players with, I would call, abnormal or outlandish or hilarious names. Some of them may be nicknames, but a lot of these are actually like the actual names for these players. And I think what I would like to do is create our dream starting nine of crazy baseball player names. So we have a list here. We've got a list of pitchers, catchers, second basemen, all the way to outfielders. We're going to take a look at all these names. There's probably about 30. And I would say this is a comprehensive list of silly names. Comprehensive in that I did a couple hours research, and these are the best names that I could find. We're going to choose, out of all these names, our starting nine. How does that sound, guys?
Based purely on name alone, right?
Purely on name alone. There is no merit to any of these. The only thing I will say, if we can't decide on one, if we're going to choose from a list of these guys, if we can't decide, then we will go to, if it's a pitcher, then we will choose based on ERA. If it's a position player, then we'll choose based on batting average. And this is lifetime batting average. We don't currently have any current players on this list. It's all players from the past. And most of these names, like, you'll come to find out, a lot of these players played in the early 20th century, or maybe sometimes even in the 19th century. So I think you guys are going to be kind of amazed by some of these. Like, I don't know who comes up with these names. And I'm not one to make fun of somebody's names, but
you got to question some of the parenting here.
100%. And that's what we're here for. That's why we're here at Wasted Pitch. We're going to question parenting. So let's get it started. There's a list of pitchers. I think we're going to choose, should we say 3 pitchers? We got a starter and then a couple of relievers. First name on this list is Mr.
Well, really quick, one thing that the missus and I were noticing, we were watching a movie recently. Mm-hmm. I think it was, maybe 50s or 60s. It was probably like our last, not the Cape Cod League movie, but the one before that. Like, why were so many people back in the 50s, 60s named Dick? Why is that so common?
I imagine a lot of them were named Richard, and Dick was just like a...
But then it was cool. Just go with Dick.
Just go.
Just go with the Dick.
Well, I don't think it probably didn't have that connotation back then. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Nowadays, it's like if your name is Dick, then immediately people are like, oh, that guy is, named after a penis. But I don't know. I don't know why. All right. First up on our list of pitchers, we have Mr. Oil Can Boyd.
Yeah.
Real name?
I believe it's his real name.
I believe it's his real name.
Shut up.
Yeah. That was my first thought. Like, is this guy's real name Oil Can? When I looked it up on Baseball Reference, his profile is Oil Can Boyd.
Wow.
It is a nickname, but it is what he goes by. His legal name was Dennis Ray.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But he did go by
Oil Can.
Like, I mean, his baseball card says Oil Can.
Good God. So he played from 82 to 91. So he's one of the recent players, which is surprising with the name Oil Can. Next up, we have Catfish Hunter, who we should all know. He's pretty famous, probably one of the better players on this list. I will note that a lot of the players on these lists, they're not some of the better baseball players. Right. And some of these players, like I think there are a couple guys who played one game. So they're forever in the annals of history with their wonderful names. Cannonball Titcomb is next, which, last name aside, the first name is fucking spectacular for a pitcher.
Aces.
Yep.
Aces. Next up on the list, we have Dick Pole.
Classic.
There's a Dick that, we were just talking about. Classic name. But he played in the 70s. So a little bit later than that 50s generation you were talking about there, Paul. Next up, we have Mysterious Walker, which is a terrible name for a pitcher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think Mysterious might be his real name.
Born to a magician and his assistant.
Yeah. We also have Vinegar Bend Mizell, which is not his real name, but he did go by Vinegar Bend, and I think it had something to do with the town that he was from in like Alabama or Arkansas or some shit. He was from Vinegar Bend. Phenomenal Smith, which is pretty good. I mean, that's not really a silly name or a funny name. Phenomenal is just...
It's only funny if you're not good.
Right.
That's true. Surprisingly, he played from 1884 to 1891.
Good stretch.
Bill Malarkey, Bill Bullshit, as he is so affectionately known.
I like it.
Ed Head. And then Mordecai Three Finger Brown. Now, Three Finger is a nickname. I'm wondering who gave him that nickname and why it was Three Fingers. Was it because of a pitch? Are we going to go with that?
Sure.
Okay. So that's 9 pitchers.
There's
We're going to
one
have to
more.
choose. There's what?
One more.
Oh, sorry, that's not on my list. We also have Cal McClish. Eric, that's not his full name, right? You have a full name for him?
Yeah. Unlike the other guys, that's kind of his nickname. His real name is Calvin Coolidge Julius Caesar Tuskahoma McClish.
Fantastic.
Holy shit. Okay. I nominate that guy
As one of them, yes.
as one of them. Would you agree, Eric?
I'm fully on board with that.
Okay.
If you got a guy named Calvin Coolidge Julius Caesar, you got to put him on the team.
Agreed.
Yeah. So he's going to be our starter. The other ones, for me, I like Dick Pole. Just a good
Classic.
solid name.
Classic.
And then this is me being a child. Cannonball Titcomb.
I would, I agree. Dick Pole, for sure.
For sure.
Man, Ed
I
Head.
like it when the first name and the last name work together.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going Cannonball or Ed Head.
I would say Cannonball or Catfish.
Yeah, I feel like Catfish was too good of a player. I think we got to
This
go
is
with
true.
Cannonball.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on to catchers. So these are, oh man, this is going to be a tough one.
Catchers have a lot of weird names.
Yes,
This
they do.
group is pretty solid. First up, we have Pickles Dillhofer.
Love it.
It's
Fantastic.
that one works so well, and I don't think. I mean, Pickles is a weird name, but it's not crazy. But the Dillhofer, Pickles Dillhofer, just goes together
It
so
just
well.
works so perfectly.
We also have Tony Suck. Poor guy, man.
Poor guy, exactly.
He probably didn't get as much shit as he does now for his name because he
Right.
played in 1883. So that's people back then. They didn't. Suck wasn't probably a derogatory term. They weren't like, oh, this guy sucks. It's probably something else. We also have Charlie Manlove.
Man alive. That's rough.
How do you not change your name?
Right.
Yeah, well, it was 1884 again. Some oldies but goodies. And then we also have Steve Christmas, which is he's not related to Lloyd Christmas.
Clearly.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
Better be.
So we've got
Pickles Dillhofer. That's the one,
Pickles
man.
Dillhofer.
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Pickles is going right there. First baseman, we have Razor Shines. Pretty good. That's wow. He played in 1983, 83 to 87. Pete Lecoq, former Royal.
Yes.
Bunny Brief. I don't know why that is just. These aren't as good as the catcher names. I will say that.
Yeah.
Lecoq.
Pete Lecoq.
That's my vote.
I can go along with that.
Yeah.
I am tapping into my little junior high self with these, but yeah.
I think we all
100%.
are.
But I think we all. That's what you do. I want to know the etymology of the last name Lecoq. Where did that come from?
Lelouch.
Lelouch. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Nuke Lelouch.
There it is.
Good throwback, Paul. Second baseman, we have Dick Padden. Shooty Babbitt. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Greg Legg. Greg Legg.
Greg Leg.
Legg is with 2 G's. And it looks like Greg played most recently. Oh, no, excuse me. Shooty Babbitt is the most recent player who played in 1981. I believe Shooty played one game for the Oakland Athletics.
Wow.
Yeah. Greg the Leg played for one full season.
What was the first one? I can't see the first one again. What was it?
Dick Padden.
Man. Good old Dick.
Good old Dick. Yeah. We've got Pickles. We've got
we could
Cal.
make a whole team of dicks.
Dick list. List of dicks.
Oh,
Shooty. I like Shooty Babbitt.
I like Shooty as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric?
I'm for it.
Shooty, you're going to second, my friend.
Good job, Shooty.
Yeah. Shortstop. Wow. We
Man.
got Jack Glasscock. Again, the last name thing. Glasscock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stubby Clapp. And Granny Hamner.
What year did Stubby Clapp play?
Stubby Clapp played in the year 2001.
Oh,
Wow.
So
He had a short stint as well. I believe he
Was
played.
it a stubby stint?
It was a stubby stint.
I was just wondering if it was before the clap. We called it the clap.
Exactly.
But
No, that was prime time for the Clap.
yeah, definitely prime time.
Depending on how old you were.
Ooh, this is a tough decision.
What? How do you like? The family tree of the Glasscocks. Seriously.
Well, and this is an older name. It's 1879 to 1895. So it was probably a different age, different time. Maybe they were a little bit more mature than we are at this moment
Probably.
in their life.
Probably.
I'm going with Granny Hammer.
Granny Hamner. It's not hammer.
Hamner.
It's not
Okay.
like laying down the hammer.
Still,
The Granny Hammer.
Granny for a baseball player.
Yeah, I made that mistake too when I first looked at it. I was like, Granny Hammer. Holy shit, that's
I think
amazing.
I like the Stubby Clapp name.
Ooh, so we're going to have our first.
Yeah, that's good too.
What do you think, Nick?
I like Stubby Clapp as well.
I'll concede. I mean, you can't.
We could go to the tiebreaker is if we can't come to a conclusive decision, the tiebreaker is their batting average.
Which
So-
is? How'd Stubby do?
It is Granny Hamner. Granny Hamner had a lifetime 262 average. Old Stubby had a lifetime 200 average.
Boy,
Oof.
Stubby.
Ugh.
Granny might have to pull that one out.
Yeah. All right, Granny. Lay down the hammer.
Hamner.
Hamner. Sorry. Let's just go with Hammer. It's better.
It's way better. Yeah.
I'm changing your last name,
Or
Granny.
just ham.
Granny Ham.
Sounds like a deli meat.
It does, yeah. I'll take a pound of the Granny Ham, please.
Some old world recipe.
It's like an olive loaf.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's move on to third baseman. We got Snuffy Sternweiss.
Wow.
That's like a cartoon name almost.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. Snuffy. I can't even say this name without laughing. Butts Wagner.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I mean, do we need to go any further?
No, the other one is Possum Witted, and Butts Wagner is just the best name
all
ever.
butts all the time. Let's go.
Oh, and Butts played in 1898. Of
course
I don't
he
think
did.
he was. I don't think he was too good. He had to have got made fun of for his name back then. There's no way he didn't. It's Butts.
It's butts.
Outfield. This one is going to be tough. We're going to have to choose three. First on the list, one of my favorites, we have Mr. Rusty Kuntz.
And Rusty,
is
that's his like
spelled-
legit real name too, right?
Kuntz is his real name. Yeah.
Rusty is it?
Sometimes it's pronounced differently. I'm sure you guys can guess how it's pronounced. It is spelled Kuntz. He's still coaching for. I think he's still coaching for
Wasn't
the
he a-
Royals.
Yeah, it's still.
An announcer guy?
No, he wasn't an announcer. For the longest time, he was a first base coach for the Royals, and then he took a step back because he's getting a little old. He
getting a
played
little
for about 6 years in the majors.
Interesting fact about him. He never appeared in more than 84 games in any season.
Oh,
Wow.
like injuries or just he wasn't that
doesn't
good. I mean,
say.
he had a 236 average, so pretty average if you ask me.
It looks like he bounced around a lot in minor to major leagues and injuries and stuff. Yeah, and not being that great.
Yeah, makes sense. Next up, we have Pussy Tebow.
Wow. I mean, what years is this guy?
Can you guess?
1890 to 1902.
Well, that was pretty close. He played in 1895. He only played maybe a few games, but he did have a 500 batting average. So when he did play,
wow. I guess you got to put up some numbers with that name.
You do. Yeah. You got to prove yourself.
Next, we have Buttercup Dickerson.
Fantastic.
This one is, I don't know. I feel like I gotta look this up. What'd you say?
Like a little forced nickname. Like, is he a big, like, tough-looking guy? Like
he does look fairly tough. He's got a pretty wicked mustache.
Nice.
His real name is Louis Pisano Dickerson. So he went by Buttercup. So I think he gets a little less clout because it's just a nickname, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Coco Crisp, who we should all know because he's the most recent player on this list, actually. Coco Crisp played for quite a while, 2002 to 2016. I think he ended his career with the A's.
Mm-hmm.
His name sounds like a breakfast cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The outfielders are not as good, I will say that.
Not nearly as fun.
Not nearly as fun. Chicken Wolf is our next.
That's a classic. I love that one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Chicken Wolf. Milton Bradley.
Another cereal.
I was thinking of a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Board games.
He was a Mariner.
Cereal.
He was a Mariner, and he was really angry when he was a Mariner.
Why was he angry?
Well, he's just an angry dude.
Because he was a Mariner?
Probably, but I don't know. He seemed to always be angry. He was like a Cleveland player for a while as well.
He's on the Red Sox.
Red Sox, yeah.
So is Coco Crisp.
Yep.
Last but not least, we have Oyster Burns. Not Mr. Burns. Oyster Burns. So I think we definitely have to go with Rusty. Rusty,
Yep.
We're putting you in there, big dog.
I'm going to nominate Chicken Wolf.
I would then say Chicken Wolf as well.
Okay. Chicken Wolf. Come on over.
That third spot.
The third one is tough. So what we have left on the list are Pussy, Buttercup, Coco, Milton, and Oyster.
Man, I think Buttercup Dickerson's pretty fantastic. It's one of those that just rolls off. But again, it's just a nickname more than an actual name kind of thing. Oyster Burns would probably be my next one.
I like Oyster Burns as well. Okay. I'd say Oyster Burns or Coco Crisp.
Okay, let's go with Oyster Burns. Oyster Burns sounds like a diagnosis that you have. I got Oyster Burns.
Coco would be our fourth outfielder then. Absolutely.
Yeah, he can be in our
designated
reserve
hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
God, there's still some good names on this list over here, though.
Absolutely.
We've got our starting 9. I mean, Stubby Clapp, Tony Suck.
Yeah, Stubby Clapp's got to be the designated hitter.
Okay, come on over, Stubby. That's a pretty good list. I feel like we've got ourselves a good starting 9. So we'll go ahead and name it off here. Starting at catcher for the wasted pitch wastoids, we have Pickles Dillhofer.
I'm going to say that's the best name on this whole list, probably.
Absolutely.
Pickles, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, because then it follows with Dill. It works on so many levels.
So many.
At first base, we have Pete Lecoq. Second base, Shooty Babbitt. Shortstop, Granny Hamner. Third base, Butts Wagner. I think that's my favorite.
I think I like Butts. That's like number 2, probably.
Right field, we have Oyster Burns. Center field, we have Chicken Wolf. Left field, we have Rusty Kuntz. On the mound today, we have Cal McClish. Our
Chicken Wolf sounds kind of like, it's almost like this mysterious chupacabra type thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
have you seen the Chicken Wolf lately?
Hiding in the woods.
Right.
Yeah. It's an animal of lore from the southeastern United States. Designated hitter is Stubby Clapp. And then our relief pitchers today are Dick Pole and Cannonball Titcomb. I'd say that's a pretty good.
That's a good list.
Great team.
Pretty good team.
Yep.
You know what we need to do now?
What's that?
We need to get like some AI generated voice of Vin Scully or Harry Carey to do a team introduction.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Announce the lineup. That would be hilarious.
Harry Carey for sure. Could we do that?
I don't know. I can look into it.
Of course we can.
I think you should.
AI does whatever you tell it.
Well, so, to an extent. I've tried.
Yeah.
I've tried everything. Not everything.
Not everything.
Yeah, so that's our list. I think baseball is interesting because for whatever reason, there are so many crazy named players. There's a ton of them.
There's a lot of good nicknames too, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about baseball. Maybe it's because it's been around for so long.
Yeah.
That we have these names, but you don't really see it in too many other places.
Now it's all about like A-Rod, J-Rod, that first initial and the three last. Yeah, those are boring.
Yeah, I was trying to find some maybe like current players who had silly names or kind of weird names.
I think once you go through college and the minors, you're not going to have a silly nickname or
nobody could get away with having the name Butts Wagner today. Like that's not going to happen. I mean, we do have Big Dumper.
Oh, come on.
Big Dumper is similar to Butts.
It's like the best current nickname.
Done with a wink and a nod already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not
they're not the PA announcer at the Mariners game is not like
it's not on his baseball card either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes Butts Wagner. Yeah. Baseball. It's great. I love it. This is what I love about baseball.
Butts and oysters and pickles and
butts and oyster burns and
stubbies
good
and
old
dicks.
stubby clap. I'm glad that we could do this exercise. I'm glad that everyone. I'm sure people have stopped listening at this point. If you haven't, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yep. You have the same junior high humor that we do.
All right. I don't have anything else this week, guys. I don't got a goddamn thing.
Keeping an eye on this Shohei trade potential.
Yeah.
There's some good, exciting baseball stuff.
Yeah.
He did not
keep
pitch
seeing
well
like
in his last start.
You know, it's funny, like with the internet now, I'm going to sound like an old man, but with the internet now and with all these like social media sites, there's always all this speculation, especially coming from like big accounts. Like I saw an account from like NBC Sports or something like that. And they were predicting that Shohei's going to go to the Giants.
I saw that.
And it's like, why the fuck would he go to the Giants? I don't think there's any way that the Giants are gonna do that in mid-season. Go after Shohei Ohtani.
Well, yeah, somebody at the All-Star game was talking about like, I got the scoop. He's coming to the Giants next year. I don't think they're going to trade the farm for him. That's only something like the jackass Yankees are going to do, which makes sense.
Do the Giants have the farm for him? Like, do they have that?
Well, no, they got money. That's just it.
Well, they have money for sure.
So they're not going to trade for him, but they'll try to sign him in the offseason when everybody else is.
So this one was saying that they're going to trade for him, or they're going to trade for him right now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't see that.
Before the deadline, which is August 1st.
I also wonder if the Angels aren't calculating, like, if they do trade, what that means for the, like, not the team's rest of the season, but their profits for the rest of the season. Like, will people stop showing up to games because he's not on the team anymore?
That's certainly got to like factor into it a little bit, right? It's half the reason why they want to keep him,
right?
But it's kind of like what was it, the Aroldis Chapman deal a couple of years ago? Like the Yankees let him go mid-season, but then they re-signed him in the offseason when he became a free agent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see the Angels doing that, trying to throw $1 billion at him in the offseason. But yeah, they
shouldn't.
No, you're right. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. It's going to start heating up pretty quick because what is it now? July 16th. So a couple weeks, we're going to start seeing some big stuff going down. I think there's a lot of trades on the table, mostly from the central divisions in both the American League and the National League, because those are the two garbage divisions in baseball.
What team was it that announced during the All-Star break, like, yes, we are selling?
probably. I know. Yeah, I remember you talking about that, or I remember seeing something about that. I think it was the White Sox.
That would make sense. Everybody wants their two of their starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Tim Anderson though, but
why don't they want Tim Anderson?
Well, because he's having a crap ass year.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
And he's getting paid a lot of money, I think, to be crappy. Unfortunately. But yeah. I want to see teams like the Reds be buyers. Like, what a crazy run they're making. That's awesome.
Well, they're in the right division to do it because they don't have a ton of other competition there.
Just got to get them into the playoffs.
Yeah. Eric is still fact checking.
It is the White Sox, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some good players, some players that could bring a lot of
fresh blood.
Well, is it like Colorado's already talking about selling as well?
God, yeah, they should.
Yeah, they need.
That team blows too.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch how this all works out with the whole trade deadline. This is kind of an exciting part of the year. It's really annoying when nothing happens, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are the Mariners going to be buyers, do you think? Or are they just going to coast it?
Mariners have already traded off 3 or 4 people. It's kind of
really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but people are asking about our young pitching, Cal Raleigh, or not Cal. God, he just pitched last night. I can't even remember who it is all of a sudden. George Kirby. Things like that. Brian Wu. We have a bunch of really good young pitchers. Perhaps a bit of an excess, but they would just be I don't think it would be smart because we need obviously some hitting. Mm-hmm. But we got these young pitchers that we should not be trading. But Trader Jerry, dude, I mean, come on. He's going to do something stupid to piss us all off.
Well, I don't think they should be buying. I don't realistically, they have a very high mountain to climb.
They do now, yeah, for sure.
Get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Especially
it always sucks when you're when you hear for a couple of years your team has this up and coming player and then right before he's about to hit the majors they trade him at the trade deadline.
Exactly. Last year we traded our top prospect Noel V. Marte or something like that to Cincinnati for when we got Luis Castillo, and he's about to just get called up. I think he might have already gotten called up, and it's he's freaking crushing and doing awesome. Mm-hmm. It's he would be so much better than Colton Wong or even J.P. Crawford at this point. We've got these veterans that just, God, don't get me started.
Yeah, it is an exciting time. I love the trade deadline. That means we're getting so much closer to the playoffs. The second half of the season goes way faster than the first half of the season. It feels like. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because the games are a little bit more meaningful than they are in the first half.
Yeah, definitely.
Teams really start to kind of gel. Baseball is a little bit better in terms of the quality of the games.
The dog days of summer.
Mm. Yeah. And then before we know it, we're going to be watching some playoff baseball.
Good stuff.
Not rooting for any of our teams because they're going to be sitting at home.
You guys going to be rooting for the Rangers?
I don't know who I'm going to be rooting for. Probably. I mean, I wouldn't mind if the Rangers made a little run at it. It would be nice to see some new blood in there besides the usual suspects of Houston and New York and Cleveland. Mm-hmm. That seems like who's dominated the most recent playoffs, at least for the past 5 years.
Right.
If I would love to see Houston get knocked out in the first round, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're looking for a wild card spot right now. I mean,
yeah, and that would be amazing if they got knocked out in the wild card round.
Heck yeah.
It's just nice to see new teams. That's the thing for me.
If the Red Sox aren't in it, then I'd like to see Baltimore do something.
Yes,
Baltimore
definitely.
would be pretty incredible.
That would be fun.
Paul, I think you called that at the beginning of this podcast journey.
Yes, I did.
You said that Baltimore was going to be better than the Red Sox, and they obviously are. So
for now, Red Sox have won 9 of their last 10 or something like that. They're on a run. 8 of their last 9, something like that.
8 of the last 10. Yeah. Currently 1 game behind New York for the last spot.
Yeah, that's so crazy. 7 games above 500 and you're in last place in your division. What?
Yep. That's the AL East, baby.
Yep.
Okay. I think that's going to do it for this week, guys.
Good stuff.
Good times.
Don't forget,
Yeah.
Pickles, Butts, Stubby, Shooty, they all love you, baby.
We will, we'll post our roster on the website. Don't worry. You guys can see it. I might even put together some pictures of these guys so you can see what Pickles looks like, or Butts,
Yes.
or Oyster Burns. You can see what an oyster burn looks like.
Check the show notes on the website.
Show notes on the website. Give us a follow wherever you get your podcast. Just like the episode. I want to know how you guys are digging the episodes. If you are, if you're not, that's cool too. I want to hear it. We will be back next week, I think, hopefully. Anything else you guys want to add?
Go M's.
Go Sox.
Go baseball.
Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your Wested pitch starting 9. At first, Pete Lecoq. Starting at second, Shody Babbitt. Your shortstop this afternoon is Granny Hammer. And at third, Butts Wagner. Behind the plate, your starting catcher, Pickles Dilloffer. And your starting pitcher for today's game is called Calvin Cola Julius Kaiser Tuscaloosa Klish.